Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, you guys know that over the last year and some change, for better or for worse, one of my cult favorite type of fighters, one of the fighters from the UK that's really won my my heart. He's won my attention as a boxing fan, and I'm supporting him because he's the underdog. He's against all odds. Is McMckinson. You know, so far McMckinson, what, 21-0 or 22-0, only 2 knockouts. They always say he can't punch, he can't do this, he can't do that, but he still managed to get himself to this position where, you know, he's come through the domestic scene in the UK, and he's conquered guys he wasn't supposed to beat. Most notably, you guys know, Chris Congo. Chris Congo was supposed to be the next big thing, big puncher. I remember on the telecast they were saying McMckinson ain't nothing. McMckinson, you know, they just talked about him like he was a nobody, and he beat Congo easily. And then he came into the States, was supposed to fight Vergil Ortiz. Vergil had a condition, pulled out. They changed his opponent like 2 or 3 times. And then McMckinson got probably the worst style matchup he could have got to look good in the States. Like, he got a guy that's just like him. He fought his first southpaw and a decent southpaw at Alex Martin in what was a really boring fight, but he still managed to win. So it showed that he can make adjustments and he's a smart fighter. With that being said, McMckinson obviously isn't getting the Vergil fight next because Vergil's fighting David Avanesyan. And you know, I really wanted to see that fight, and I've been very vocal about it on Twitter, so much so to the point that people are very agitated by me. And I still think that's a fight that should happen down the road if Vergil doesn't get a world title shot, like after, if he beats Avanesyan. But McMckinson's been on Twitter, and here's what he said about his future with boxing, because, you know, Vergil made this fight with Avanesyan happen. He said, I quote, "Golden Boy, if you didn't fancy McMckinson versus Vergil Ortiz, a great fight to be made this summer would be McMckinson versus Alexis Rocha. I would happily come back to the USA." So I love what I'm seeing from the young, hungry contender from Portsmouth, UK. You know, he didn't get the fight that he ultimately wanted, but he's not crying, he's not complaining, he's not bitching and moaning about not getting the Vergil Ortiz fight. You know, that's my job. I've been doing that for him on Twitter. But he's being proactive. You know, he's trying to make another big fight happen. He's trying to do what he can in his career to prove himself that he is one of the better young talents in this division. And Alexis Rocha would be a great fight. You know, I was there when Alexis Rocha was being interviewed after the Blair Cobbs fight, after he knocked out Blair Cobbs. And they had a little exchange, a friendly exchange, and they threw out the idea of making a fight happen. So, listen, if we're not getting Vergil versus McKinson, you know, and I know I'm probably like one of the only people that will publicly say I wanted that fight, because a lot of people didn't want that fight because they think McKinson is boring, this, that, and the third. I just wanted to see because it's a different style than Vergil's seen, and McMckinson is a good fighter. As far as Rocha, great fight. You know, Alexis Rocha is a southpaw as well, so it's a southpaw and southpaw matchup. You know, Rocha really showed his quality in that last fight, you know, beating the shit out of Blair Cobbs because, you know, was 2 young, undefeated, well, no, Rocha's not undefeated. He lost to Rashidi Ellis. But I'm saying it was 2 young, hungry contenders fighting each other. You know, Rocha has that southpaw pressure style, educated pressure, good, decent jab, good skills. You know, McKinson is a guy that his style, if you don't really watch his style, if you haven't watched McMckinson's career, I don't really think you could talk too much about his style because his style is very deceptive. He's a southpaw who doesn't have a lot of punching power, because I think there's still some things he's got to tighten up with the punch technique, but that's not for me to say. Maybe his team will help him with that. But he's an awkward southpaw. Some people would even say he's an ugly southpaw as far as his style. He's a guy that, you know, can box, can move. But he's when you see him, I know it's weird to say this, but like when you see him in person, he's a lot more physically stronger than he looks. And if you've watched his fights against like Chris Congo, Ruanowski, and a couple other guys he's fought, he's actually used that physical strength to get knockdowns, to impose himself on fighters, which is crazy to say because he has 2 knockouts. But if you watch his fights and you're watching the tape, he does these kind of things, and it don't look pretty, but it's effective. I would love to see what adjustments and what tweaks McMckinson would make to his own style for a Rocha fight, because, you know, it's easy to push some of these guys in the UK around because a lot of these guys are traditionally more outside boxers, and it's a little easier to do. Rocha's a guy that's what he lives for. That, like, he lives for a guy to go up there and push up on him. So does McKinson try to do that, or does McKinson try to box him more? You know, it's a hell of a fight. You know, Rocha right now, as it stands, if we go in the WBO rankings, McKinson's ranked number 5. Rocha's not ranked there. Rocha's ranked number 11 in the IBF. McKinson's not ranked there. In the, WBA, neither McKinson or Rocha is ranked in the WBA. And then in the WBC, McKinson and Rocha aren't ranked there either. But they're ranked in 2 different sanctioning bodies. So these guys are contenders. These guys are fighters worthy of being matched. And I love that fight, and I love the attitude that McKinson's taking here. You know, not crying, not sulking. He wants to prove himself. He wants to fight top, young, quality contenders. Listen, Alexis Rocha, we don't need to question him at all. If anything with Alexis Rocha, that's one guy in the welterweight division we can't question what he wants to do, because if we look at who he's fought so far, for only being a 24-year-old fighter with like only 20 fights in his career, he's already been in there with guys like Blair Cobbs, and he was the guy that stopped him. He's the guy that fought Rashidi Ellis, and just on that alone, the fact that Rocha was actually one of the few, you know, notable guys at welterweight, one of the only, maybe the only, recent memory, that has fought Rashidi Ellis, that right there is a huge feather in his cap. Whether he won or lost, just having the fact that you fought Rashidi Ellis on your resume in a time where the political politics and the promoters don't want to give him fights. They don't want to allow him to show his greatness to the world. So much so to the point that he had to leave Golden Boy. He's now with Showtime and PBC. The fact that he has that on his resume, it shows you the kind of guy he is. So I have no doubts, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, that if a fight offer comes on the table for Alexis Rocha to fight McMckinson, an awkward southpaw, some would say an ugly southpaw, but there's more to him than you guys think. I'm not saying I don't know what he is yet, you know, but, you know, I don't think he's like a great fighter yet. He has to prove that in the ring, but there is more to him than just being a technical boxer and being a guy with quote-unquote no punching power. That he is physically strong. When you see him in person, you can see he carries, you know, he's strong. He's got a lot of strength with him. So I want to see this fight. You know, I think ideally speaking, this fight, Golden Boy should make this fight the co-main event on August 6th. You can get McKinson versus Rocha, co-main event on the Ortiz-Avenician undercard, or put it on the card as like the fight before the co-main event if you don't have like Sinisa Estrada on there. And that would be an exceptional night of boxing, you know. So that's ideally that's what I would want. I would want to see Vergil versus Avenician main event. You get Sinisa Estrada back in action, hopefully in the biggest fight possible, co-main event, and then this fight could be like just beneath that or somewhere on that card where they're fighting on TV, and both Rocha and McMckinson are getting the TV time that they both have earned in their young boxing career so far. So that's the news. McMckinson calling out the Golden Boy matchmakers to make the Alexis Rocha fight. Golden Boy matchmaker Roberto Diaz did say that they're looking into it, and I have full faith that fight will happen. So you guys leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.